Yo, what's going on, man? Today is October the 7th, and we're diving into these NBA team previews. If you are new to the channel, smash that like button as you guys join. If you're watching my channel for a couple years now, you've been following my my NBA plays for a while. Also, smash the like button, and let's jump into it. We're doing 2 teams a day. No different. Today is the 7th, so we're on Phoenix and Miami. Tomorrow we'll break down the Bucks and the Timberwolves. Should be a good, a good team preview segment for both teams for tomorrow. Almost halfway through too, which is crazy. Doing these pretty quickly, but always say, stay ready. Don't got to worry about getting ready. So hopefully we can do just that by getting these previews done, kind of catching everybody up on all the different things going on with these teams. Let's jump into it for today. First team we got up, the Miami Heat. They will be looking the same this year for the most part. Miami Heat didn't change too much. This was a team that, let me get to it real quick. So Miami was a team last season that finished 47-37. Straight up, they were 40-4 against the number, including the playoffs. And they finished with the AC in the Eastern Conference last season, before losing to the Boston Celtics in the first round. And injury bug kind of bit them again. It seems like that's the common theme with the Miami Heat, whether it's through the regular season or the off season, whether it's through the regular season or the postseason. Just felt like, everybody in the East felt like they were hurt though. So what do they do? They don't really have a lot of money to go out and sign a lot of people. You got Tyler Hero under a big contract. You got Jimmy Butler under a big contract, and but they do re-sign Bam, which is needed. They bring back Thomas Bryant, which I don't know how needed that was. But then you also bring back Haywood Highsmith, who is decent form, and a veteran like Kevin Love that has championship experience. Definitely could utilize him as well. Only a big addition that they had was Alex Burke as far as free agent signing. I think he's probably one of the more underrated, slept on, guards that don't get a bunch of playing time. He kind of bounced around last season. Was on the Knicks. I think he also went to Detroit for a little while. But Alex Burke is nice. He's gonna help this team and kind of give them some depth at that shooting guard / small forward position. Where in the draft was nice too. This Miami Heat team, if you watched any of the summer league, they were the team that beat the Memphis Grizzlies to win the championship, and a lot of it was because of Ware. Ware is a big center, big, strong, physical guy. Gonna learn behind Bam. Be a part of that Miami Heat culture, and I think that'll bode well for him. He should get some minutes really early into his NBA career. So number 15 overall pick, I think they will. Put him out there and play him a lot just to kind of let him develop within the Florida offense this season. They lose Jamal Cain, not big. I think the loss of Caleb Martin is pretty big for them though. Caleb Martin is, of course, on the Philadelphia 76ers. And that's going to, a versatile forward that can guard fours, guard threes, guard twos, stretch the floor, plays with a lot of, a lot of grit. And, I don't know, Caleb Williams is like a Swiss Army knife, man. Caleb Martin. So I do think losing Caleb Martin is going to hurt this team just a tad bit. Patty Mills is also on the Jazz. I don't know how much that means. And then Orlando Robinson went to the Sacramento Kings, which we talked about the other day. As far as strength of schedule, looking into the team this year, 13th easiest schedule. So you could say about 15th most difficult schedule. So it's kind of in between. 8 times that they have the rest advantage, 9 times they without, and they do play the second most back-to-backs with 15 this season. Last season, just going back to last season one more time real quick, they couldn't overcome the 62 combined injuries with Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. I mentioned, injury bug biting a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference. This was definitely one of them. Tyler Hero was decent in the games that he played in. He averaged 21 points per game. Jimmy Butler averaged, just below 21 points per game as well. Bam averaged 19, 10.5 rebounds and 4 assists. And of course, they acquired Terry Rozier from the Charlotte Hornets. but he came over and never was able to really stay healthy to be a part of that playoff push. We also saw, Jimmy Butler not be out there for the playoffs as well. And like I said, with the lack of all-season acquisitions because of finances, the Heat are really banking on some more development. And we know that they develop players really, really well down in Miami. They'll need, Jaime Jaquez Jr. to continue to emerge, off a really good rookie season, where I think will also have to emerge. And then you just need some injury luck as well, to be able to, to do well this upcoming season. It does feel like this window is closing for the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, they weren't able to restructure to get him signed to a long contract. I think he's like 34, 35 years old. So not really sure how much you're going to get from Jimmy Butler. If you look at the odds, it's interesting, man, because championship odds, you can get them 50-1. Best odds over on BetMGM. You can see that on the right-hand side. To win the Southeast Division, plus 180, and then regular season win totals at 44.5. Now, I mentioned already that last season this team won 47 games, so the books are expecting them to take a step back. Or we could say that the books are expecting a couple teams in the Eastern Conference to be a little bit better this season and not so much the Miami Heat. When I look specifically at this Southeast Division, this is the first time in my life and since I've been handicapping sports, and probably in the last 20 years, that the Orlando Magic are actually the odds-on favorite to win this division. And the Miami Heat, I think, are second. And I think that's clear. I think the books are telling us something there. The Miami Heat are not the better team of, between the two. So I don't think that I would buy, Miami, especially with the injury health, to keep players. I don't think I would buy the division ticket to get them at plus 180. I'll probably lay it with the Orlando Magic, which we haven't gotten to the Orlando Magic yet. But I just wanted to, to iterate that because I thought that was pretty interesting that, Orlando is, predicted by the sports books to win the Southeast Division. They've always been the little brother to the Miami Heat, but this year, maybe they're changing to the guys. We'll see how it goes. So no bet on me, no bet for me on this team yet, but I'm thinking that they're gonna go as probably they could potentially finish as high as probably 5-6 in the Eastern Conference, and that's a stretch because we know Miami Heat teams don't typically play up to potential in the regular season, and then they bring it on late and make a push. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not too high on this Miami Heat team, but if they stay healthy and other teams can happen to get injured again like they did last season, then Miami Heat could be a little bit of a scare. Next team we got the Phoenix Suns. Man, I feel like I lost a lot of money with this team last season. I don't know what my exact record is. I have to go back and look at it, but this was a team that last season they had a pretty good run, I guess, if, granted all things considered, up until the playoffs. The playoffs, that's absolutely you can't throw that in there and say that anything was good about this team. And we'll get there in a second, but last season they did win 49 games, 49 and 33 overall, 34, 45, and 3 against the number. They only covered 43% of their games last season, and they were 44 and 38 to the under. And I thought that was interesting because what that showed me is that, this team was supposed to be high-powered offense, and a lot of the time it was them that weren't necessarily getting to their team totals, and a lot of those points that we thought was going to be scored weren't scored, by this team last year. Of course, they ended up being swept in the first round by the Minnesota Timberwolves. They lost 3 of those, the first 3 games of the series, they were lost by double digits before losing game 4 by 6 points after Bradley Beal guaranteed a win and didn't come through with it. They struggled with, a lack of depth and a slew of injuries to Bradley Beal specifically. We also saw Kevin Durant miss some time. So what does Matt Ishbia do, the owner of the team? He fires Frank Vogel and brings in some new energy. Frank Vogel was a defensive coach that led the Lakers to, the bubble championship before they ended up firing him to bring in Darvin Ham. And they replaced him with another defensive-minded coach, Mike Budenholzer, of course. Had a long tenure, led the Milwaukee Bucks to a championship about 4 years ago now. So they bring in Mike Budenholzer, also bring in Tyus Jones, which I'm thinking is a pretty good move for them. It at least slides everybody into their natural position. Bradley Beal did average 6.9 assists. I think it was a career high 6.9 assists, but we know he's more of a two guard. So now you add Tyus Jones. So Devin Booker can come off ball. Kevin Durant can come off ball. Tyus Jones can play make. I think he averaged 7.3 assists to go along with 12 points per game last season when he was in DC with the Wizards. So you do get an upgrade at the point guard position. Bradley Beal, like I said, can go back to the 2. And, you add Monte Morris, which I'm guessing, the addition of Monte Morris is probably just to kind of, replace Eric Gordon, who's also no longer on the team. And then you got a little bit of depth, big man depth by adding a Mason Plumlee down there with Nurkic. So I'm not sure if that's enough. You can see that the odds have this team at 30-1 to win the championship. They are, however, the favorite. So second bubble on the right-hand side, they are the favorite to win the Pacific Division. Now, if you're not familiar with the Pacific Division, this is the division with the Warriors, the Lakers, the Suns, of course, the Clippers, and the Kings. And I'm not quite sure that I think the Phoenix Suns, just given the the injury history for this team, I don't think that I would want to put my money on the Phoenix Suns to win the division. I really, really don't. Plus 225 is the best odds. And those are the shortest odds of any team to win that division. I want to say the Kings are second, the Lakers are third, the Sacramento Kings are fourth, and the Clippers are I think the Clippers are last. They have the lowest projected win total. But speaking of win total, 47.5, which I think the Kings are right behind them. The Golden State Warriors and the Lakers are right behind them. And then the Clippers are like 38.5. So this is always like a Jekyll and Hyde, type division where you just kind of got to wait and see what it comes down to, especially, some veteran players in this division. So it could come down to some injury, especially with, DeMar DeRozan now in Sacramento as well. Look at the strength of schedule. They do have a really difficult schedule. You can see that it's fourth most difficult in the NBA. And remember, this is factored in back-to-backs, rest advantage, rest disadvantage, miles travel, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights, all of those different things. They do have 6 spots with the rest advantage, which is actually the second fewest. I think it's only one team that has a rest advantage in just 4 games out of the 82 that they'll play, but they have rest disadvantage 10 times as well, and that's on the bottom left-hand side. So it's difficult for me, man. It's difficult for me because I watched this team crumble, and should they bounce back with a vengeance? Yes, but when you're the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion, what really matters? It's all championship or bust, right? We know that the Western Conference is going to be stacked. There's a lot of really good teams in the Western Conference. This Phoenix Suns team is a team that's aging, and they're aging pretty quickly. I don't think that they necessarily care too much. I almost view them as the Lakers, as a team that doesn't care too much about, putting all their chips in the middle of the table during the regular season. I think, just getting to the playoffs, if they can, secure a top 4 seed, they would definitely love to. I don't think that they'll be, a top 4 seed in the Western Conference, and they'll have to go on the road and win. And that's where their defense kind of really failed them last year. They really struggled to get stops, and their offense just wasn't as good either. When I was looking into Phoenix, just to kind of put some numbers behind what I'm saying, when I was looking into the Phoenix, Suns last season, this was a team that, while they could score, they finished, top 10 in points scored per 100 possessions, and effective field goal percentage, even offensive rebound rate, they were number 8, and they also shot the most free throws. They still struggled, didn't force a lot of turnovers. They were 24th in the department, gave up a ton of offensive rebounds. And defense just it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. They struggled in a lot of key areas, but specifically, just their ability to get stops, specifically in the playoffs at that. So we'll see if they can be a little bit more defensive, oriented this year. But when you got to pay Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal $150 million, it's difficult to bring in other pieces, right? And that's why they couldn't really go out and have a lot of transactions in the offseason. So we'll see what happens with the Phoenix Suns. I would not be betting on this team to win the division, though I do think, before it's all said and done, I may have a future that's going to be in the specific division, and it's not going to be the Suns. But we'll see if I end up getting there. And if I do, I will share with you guys towards the end of the previews for all of these teams. So that'll be it. Those are my quick, breakdowns of these two teams. Hopefully they were helpful for you guys. Other resources that I use to handicap the NBA, the WNBA, the NFL, all of the different markets are here. Definitely check out OddsJam if you guys are, just kind of not privy to what they have to offer. And if you're interested in signing up and using some of the resources that they have, there's a 20% coupon code or referral link. You can just type in CBC. The link for it is in the description, and you'll get 20% off your first month. Same thing with moneyballer.com. 50% off your first month using code Crispy Captain with 2 P's and 2 N's. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. If you guys got any questions about those, shoot me a DM on Twitter at Crispy Captain with 2 P's and 2 N's, and I'll walk you through whatever it is that you may need some assistance with as well. And that'll be it, man. Hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, if you enjoyed the breakdowns, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Share it with somebody else that's going to be handicapping and trying to make some money in the NBA in the upcoming weeks, because the season is right around the corner as well. Best of luck on all your action, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Tomorrow, we'll be back. I'm out.